Thank you for taking your time to watch my video. Please, before you continue to watch this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be discussing about the Microsoft Azure Active Directory. So if you work in an enterprise environment or you are using Microsoft 365 Admin Center or Office 365 and you want to actually manage your users or devices application with Azure Active Directory, so what you need to do is, first of all, you need to log on to the microsoftoffice.com, which of course you're going to get to this browser here. And then from here, you can just hit the admin button. It will take you to the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So just under the customized navigation, click Show All. And here you can see we have the Azure Active Directory. So just going to click Skip now for 14 days. So it takes us automatically to the Azure Active Directory Admin Center. So the Azure Active Directory is actually a cloud-based service which we can use to actually access management services, which you can as well use to manage users' accounts, groups, devices, and even enterprise application as well. So here you can see I have the Azure Active Directory under my favorite, my users, and my enterprise application. So let me just go to Azure Active Directory and click there. Here you can see we have the overview, we have getting started, we have preview. So let me just click getting started. So here I can have some very good information on add a custom domain, get a free trial for Azure Add a Premium, so configure self-service password reset. So on manage, we have the option to actually click on users, groups, external identities, and lots more. So let me click on users first of all. So you can see, just as you have, for example, if I go to my Office 365, my admin center, I have my active users. I have the option to actually create users from here. I can do the same from my Azure Active Directory. So I can create a new user. So I can just call this user, let me just call this user Samuel. His login name is going to be Samuel. Let me just say Samuel.Johnson. And his name is going to be Samuel Johnson. His first name is going to be Samuel, and his last name is going to be Johnson. So it's now asking us if we want to actually auto-generate a password. I'm just going to click, let me create a password, and I'm just going to enter one for the user. And then we can as well decide to give the user a location. I'll say this user lives in Belgium. And do you want to block the sign in? Of course, it's no. So we can also give some job title and the department of the user. We can as well assign this user to a particular group. So let me just click create. You can see that Samuel Johnson has been created. So if I go back to my Office 365 Admin Center and I refresh, let me just try to refresh. Here you can see that in the Office 365 Admin Center, Samuel Johnson has been created as well. But right now, Samuel does not have a license. So what we can actually do as well, if I click on a Samuel account, I have the option to actually reset Samuel password, delete this account, or even configure multi-factor authentication for Samuel Johnson. And here under the users, we can as well decide to configure how we want to actually set our password for the all our users. So I can decide to say, okay, the authentication method should be like using the email, mobile telephone. If we configure like the multi-factor authentication for the users, we can decide to actually include the mobile app code. So registration, we can say, okay, number of days before users are asked to reconfigure the authentication information. So here you can see it's about 180 days. We can as well change it to 90 or 60 days as well if we want. And I have the option to save it as well. So it's been saved right now. So it has been saved. So we have the notification, notify users on password reset. So you click yes, notify all admin when other admin resets their password. We can as well click yes for security reasons and click save. So here we have the customization. We can decide actually to customize our help desk, you can say yes. We can actually customize the help desk link if we want. And here we have some like the on-premise integration. So I'm not going to go into this right now. So say this is on-premise integration has not been enabled. Learn how to enable by using the enable password right back. So this is actually you can configure this if you have installed the Azure AD Connect on your on-premises devices. So let me just cancel this again. Cancel this again. And here we have the option to actually create groups as well. So you can see here we can decide to create new group as well. We can, if I decide to click on this, I can delete the group I've created, which of course I created this group. I created them from the 365 admin center. So, but I can decided to delete the group from here as well, and it will be deleted from your admin center. And you can see that the source of these groups, which if I go back to my users as well, users, you can see that the identity of these users actually are all of Microsoft, and the source of this user as well. They are from the cloud based and not from my on-premises device. So if I go back to my group, you can see the source is the cloud. So if for example your device, your cloud is being synced with your on-premises device, you're going to see that the source here is going to be on-premises and not from the cloud. So let me go. So here we have the external identities and we have the roles and administrators. So you can see we have all the different roles which you can assign user. For example, you want to assign some specific user to be a member of the help desk, and you don't want them to be a kind of a global administrator. You just want them to be a help desk administrator. So, and if you can see what the user can, the description here in the description, you can actually see what the user can do. For example, if I click on the help desk administrator here, you right now, and I click description, so you can as well see, say users with this role can change password, manage service requests, and monitor service health. So which means let me select a different user as well that has maybe an administrator, right? Let me just use the exchange administrator. Select Exchange Administrator. Description. Says users with this role have a global permission within Microsoft Exchange Online. So here you can see the role and permission, what the user can do in details. I think by actually assigning a user, before you assign anyone a role in your environment, I think it would be actually wise of you to actually come to the roles and administrator to see what the user can do. Because if you, for example, you assign someone who is just an help desk, who doesn't have a lot of knowledge on Office 365 or Azure Active Directory, and you assign that user to become a global administrator, mind you, that user have a lot of roles and permission. The user can do a lot. The user can even do some damages to your environment. So you need to be very, very careful before you assign users this role. So here also we have our devices. Right now I don't have any device on this environment. So here every device actually you can see them here as well. You can see if the device have been configured with MDM, if they are compliant, who is the owner of that device, which operating system that device is being used. And here we have the BitLocker as well. You can see which device has BitLocker and which device does not have BitLocker as well. So here we have the password reset, we have a company branding. Let me just click on the company branding, configure the text and graphic your users see when they sign into Azure Active Directory. So when I click that here, you can see we have the options to actually configure our company branding. So when a user sign into actually to Azure Active Directory or to Office 365, what will they see? So we also have, so for example, I have the custom domain names. Here, if for example you work in a very large company and your company have different domains which you've registered, all the domains will be listed here as well. You can see this is the first domain. When you registered, create a trial account with Office 365, it's going to be created with the on Microsoft.com. But I have registered this domain name. You can see the domain name has been shown verified, which of course is my primary domain right now. So I can decide to add a custom domain as well. You can decide to choose a domain name you want to add, and you'll be asked to verify that domain name to claim that you are the owner of that domain. So you don't register a domain that you are not the owner of of it. So what I'm going to show you again is under the monitoring. On the monitoring, you can actually monitor who sign in and when they sign into your device and where they sign in to. So let's say, for example, you can say, my name is Kelvin Johnson. So I've signed in actually to a device and the location is Brussels, which of course is showing the location is Brussels because I live in Belgium. I don't live in Brussels actually, but probably because the location is Brussels because the data center of Microsoft is in Brussels. So it's showing me Brussels. But if, for example, someone says that they try to log into his account and he's not sure who, or the person says that his account has been locked out and he didn't actually sign into his account, you can come to actually, and the person is using Microsoft 365, has an Office 365 account. So you can actually come here and see where the user logged on. So you want to trace if someone is trying to actually hack someone's account as well. You can actually see which country the user tried to log on, where's the location. If the person is trying to log on like from London, from the United States, from Afghanistan, or anywhere in the world, you can as well see it here. So also we also have the audit logs. So we can as well see our audit logs as well, or the application logs. We can everything is being registered here as well. So not to make this video very long, I'm not going to go in details about all the other things we have here, like the provision logs, the logs, and also you can see that we cannot even use the log analytic integration. So I have to read more about how to integrate log analytic with your Azure Active Directory. So in our next, I'm going to do a video on how to show you how you can block users from accessing your Office 365 in some particular countries. So let's say there are some countries in the world whereby, for example, you think that people may decide to log on to hack their users' account and use it to do some fraudulent activities. You can decide to block some country. If, for example, I want to block users from accessing my Office 365 environment from England because I believe that, okay, I don't have any worker who lives in England, so I want to block them from accessing that environment. We can as well configure that in Azure to actually block the users from accessing our environment in from England. So if for example the user traveled to England and decided to log on to Office 365 from the web browser, it will be blocked. The user will not be able to access his account. But what the user can do is actually call the IT help desk or call the IT department, and then the IT department can as well grant that user access by creating an exception for that particular user alone, not every other user. So I'm going to do a video on that, on how to block or create exception for user. If, for example, you think, okay, I don't want users from like countries like Iraq or country like Ghana or country like, for example, just give an example. I'm using a random country actually to actually access your Office 365 environment, or they should not be able to access it from that country. You can actually create a rules to block that country, that user should not be able to access your environment from that country. So here we have the user as well. So I've discussed about the users, what you can do with it, and we have the enterprise application, how to add new application to your device. Here you can see we have like the Microsoft Teams, Office 365. And let me just click on the Microsoft Teams. And here you can see we can decide to actually say, okay, who is the owner of this Microsoft Teams? We don't have any owner. We can add a owner to the Microsoft Teams as well. But right now, I'm not going to go into deep on this, not to make this video very, very long. So I'll be doing a different video on the enterprise application as well. Thank you for taking your time to watch my video. My name is Kelvin Johnson, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more IT related video. And also, if you have any question concerning Office 365 or Azure Active Directory, don't forget to leave a comment below or send me an email, and I'll reply to your email as quick as possible. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye.